Welcome back to America's Now. I'm Elaine Reyes. A recent U.S. Supreme Court decision that overturned most of an anti-illegal immigration law is being called a victory for the rights of undocumented workers in America. It's known as SB 1070 in the southwestern state of Arizona. The Obama administration and civil rights groups have lauded the recent ruling, but as America's Now correspondent Mike Kirsch reports, victory may not be the right way to describe the reality on the ground.
Like at 234.
5132, Arizona, Adam, Edward, Bravo, 3354, Arizona Ave in Riggs, north of.
12 million illegal immigrants live in the United States, many of them from Mexico, looking over their shoulder for police in and around Phoenix, Arizona, here in Maricopa County, arguably the most hostile place for illegal immigrants in the country, where for years they have lived in fear of being pulled over by authorities, jailed in 100-degree heat in Maricopa County's infamous Tent City, before being handed over to federal immigration officials for deportation. An Arizona law known as SB 1070 gave state and local police the authority to specifically target and arrest individuals they suspected were here illegally, and those attempting to find work as illegal immigrants, like the many day laborers often observed hiring themselves out on the streets. Deciding that Arizona had gone too far, the U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled most of SB 1070 unconstitutional, explaining that only federal authorities, not states like Arizona, could pursue and arrest immigrants for the sole purpose of being here illegally. Civil rights groups call the ruling a victory for illegal immigrants, though some we've spoken with aren't so sure that's the case, considering Arizona police, particularly the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, who we recently accompanied on patrol after the Supreme Court ruling, say they'll continue to pursue those living here illegally. Indeed, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, widely considered a hardline poster child for anti-illegal immigration, his Tent City jail complete with a flashing hotel-style vacancy sign atop the yard, bristles at the notion his deputies will start giving illegal immigrants a free pass because of the ruling. We sat down with Arpaio shortly after the High Court decision.
In a way, Sheriff Arpaio and his department has been neutered by this.
No. Right now, while we're speaking, we're arresting 14 more coming into this county. So I am not stopping doing what we've been doing the last several years.
Okay, you can put us out, 23.
Arpaio is quick to point out that the Supreme Court let stand a provision of SB 1070 allowing his deputies and other police agencies in Arizona to ask immigrants for citizenship papers during the course of traffic stops or while investigating them for other crimes, if they're suspected of being here illegally.
Anything exciting going on tonight?
Which illegal residents here like Carlos Figueroa say is quite unsettling.
I'm still afraid about if for any reason I made any mistake, the police, he could put me over and stop me. He asked me for my papers. That's why the people is still scared about the police.
Maricopa County Sheriff deputies say the Supreme Court ruling has changed nothing for them. As far as they're concerned, it's business as usual. No new orders coming down from the top. From Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Arpaio boasts of arresting more than 50,000 illegal immigrants in Maricopa County over the last several years. He says not even pending federal lawsuits accusing him of discriminatory policing policies will stop him or his Maricopa Sheriff's Office from enforcing what's known as the Show Me Your Papers provision of Arizona's immigration law left intact by the High Court.
In Maricopa County, where we are now, there is a serious danger that it will be enforced in a discriminatory fashion.
Paul Bender is a longtime constitutional law professor and former dean of Arizona State University's College of Law.
Because the sheriff here has made a career out of saying he's out to get illegal immigrants. And he's done sweeps of illegal immigrants. The courts have told him he shouldn't do that. He doesn't care what the courts say. And he's made a living out of acting like a tyrant and like somebody who discriminates. He's proud of it. How much of it he does, I don't know. But he does strike fear into people's hearts.
I'm sure you've heard some of the criticisms. Some of them refer to you as a tyrant.
Hitler, indict them, on and on and on. That's not going to bother me or stop me from doing what I've been doing. Nothing will change. We will continue to enforce the state laws.
Arpaio says it's his tough stand on illegal immigration that has gotten him elected by Maricopa County voters to 5 consecutive 4-year terms as sheriff.
I'm not going to have the federal government run the elected. I'm elected. I'm not a police chief, a sheriff's office.